Afternoon again, 2 minutes. Getting started in 2 minutes. Good afternoon. It's my pleasure to welcome all of you to this afternoon's lawn ceremony and the continuation of our commencement weekend following this morning's donning of the stoles and symbols ceremony in Ashburn Chapel. We're so pleased to be able to celebrate the class of 2026 with all of you, and we intend to make the most of the time we have together. We're also pleased to be joined by those who are watching the live stream of this event from wherever you happen to be. And regardless of where you are in the world, we're excited to be with you and on the verge of celebrating with our 95 soon-to-be graduates, their family members, and friends. And if you were wondering, this is the hardiest tent in North America. We're going to be fine. As we begin today on this spectacular campus of ours, we are mindful of the fact that here at Brooks School, we live and learn on land once of the Pennacook people, and we acknowledge their enduring presence. Before proceeding, I'd like to take a few minutes to outline what we will be doing over the next couple of hours. This lawn ceremony aims to honor and appreciate a wide range of talents and contributions students have shared with the school over the course of this year and a number of years in some cases that leave us incredibly proud to work with them. We will hear from faculty members who lead the school's art, athletic, and academic programs respectively, along with members of this class of 2026 who have excelled in these areas. In between and along the way, we will present a number of prizes that have been earned by Brooks School students for generations. After conferring prizes and taking in all today's speakers have prepared, I will then enjoy the privilege of presenting some school prizes toward the end of the ceremony. I'll finish with a few thoughts about this year's school leaders and the many who will play important leadership roles in 2026 and 2027, Brooks School's 100th year. With a sense of what is to come now in hand, and before we get started, I want to introduce those who are on stage with me this afternoon. Curry Hoya Huntington is in his 4th year at Brooks and serves as Dean of Academic Affairs. Mr. Huntington. Babette Wielden is in her 7th year at Brooks and serves as chair of the Arts Department and director of the Robert Lehman Arts Center. Mrs. Wielden. Andrea Hines is in her 34th year at Brooks and serves as director of athletics. She's joined by Beanie Egertson, Dean of Enrollment and Financial Aid, also in her 34th year at Brooks. And the two of them will be keeping these prizes in order over the course of the afternoon. And finally, one more time, I do want to remind all of us that this event's being live streamed. To many who are watching from locations all over the world and recorded for those who cannot watch at this time. With that in mind, it's especially important that those of us here on campus turn off and silence all cell phones and comparable devices. In addition, it would be great if noisy activities, such as opening cans of water, might be done now. Thank you. Or moved far enough away from the tent so that these noises are not picked up by a microphone in a way that interferes with this afternoon's ceremony. And last, please take a moment to identify the nearest way out from the tent in the highly unlikely event of an emergency. Again, we're going to be fine. To begin, I'm pleased to turn the podium over to Babette Wielden, Chair of the Arts Department. Mrs. Wielden.
Quoting Sarah Ruhl, American playwright, poet, professor, and author of the 2025 book, Lessons from My Teachers, a book the Arts Department read as a team this year. The arts are a way of freezing time or extending time. It's another way to bridge the gaps between us. As a playwright, she celebrates that no one is ever lonely when they're in a play. Class of 2026, remember this. You are never alone. You are part of a cast of characters that is unlike any other, the Brooks School Class of 2026. Sarah Ruhl also happens to be a member of a pickle council. Pickle. An informal group of artists who gather to highlight the importance of artistic communities. She encourages writers and artists to form their own pickle councils or common rooms to support one another, share ideas, and fuel creativity. Pickles. Pickles. Our arts department is its own pickle council. We collaborate around ideas of how the arts embody and enhance all of our school-wide competencies and core values. How time in our art center in our Center for the Arts makes all of you better humans, more creative, collaborative, courageous. As most of you know, one of our beloved arts faculty members is retiring this year. Lynn Evangelist McLaughlin is a living work of art that has been part of Brooks School community for her entire life. She has taught, inspired, counseled, and healed so many members of this community with her beauty. Lynn, you are a gift, and we are going to hold your energy here with us for decades to come. Thank you, and cheers to you. With the spirit of Lynn and from the perspective of our arts department, I'm going to focus on a metaphor for you, class of 2026, a metaphor that helps me get beyond the noise of the world and reflects what, why, and how the arts are a massive component of the most meaningful educational experience of your lives. That metaphor is appropriately green, it's funny, it's funky, it's fresh, and yes, it's pickles. I love saying that word, and I crack myself up when thinking about how we as educators take fresh cukes like you, and with various seasonings and an acerbic soaking, we make you into awesome pickles. Some of you joined us 4 years ago as fresh-picked farm-to-table garden cucumbers, while some of you arrived so tightly wrapped in protective cellophane, you were screaming to breathe when you entered the Center for the Arts for your first day of Arts Exploratory. Some of you were a bit naive, slightly ignorant, making comments like, wait, I get a grade for art? Art classes have exams? I have to take art? But thankfully, the majority of you jumped right in and over with the arts these past 4 years. You relished in the experience you created in the arts. You opened your hearts to what can happen when we immerse together, when we accept the grind of the pepper that is prep school. There's so much brine in the world right now that we are literally drowning in it. But instead of being mad about all the saltiness, hiding away from the spice, we can embrace how we respond to it. How we as humans change, we age, we sour, and we sweeten. I love pickles. I love the word. I love pickleball. I love what I do, and I love that I have been part of the best batch that is you. So class of 2026, please know that you are a unique, beautiful blend. You are pungent, you are crisp, you are bright, and you make everything on the plate of life better. Soak up this time, marinate in the merriment, and most of all, keep immersed in the arts. Cheers to you, graduates. And now for the Artistic Awards. The George A. Tyrone Prize, awarded by Mrs. Randolph Muto in memory of her father to a middle school student who shows unusual promise in the visual arts. This student exudes creativity, and as a D1 art recruit, this artist has fully engaged in all aspects of the arts, serves as an arts ambassador, and is returning next fall for year 2 of AP Studio. This year's Tyrone Prize goes to Alder Hurley. The Henry M. Buell Photography Prize, awarded to an upper school student who is dedicated to the practice of photography and skilled not only in technique but in creative artistry. If you have spent time checking out our Advanced Artist Creative Collaborative on display in the Center for the Arts, you might have seen this student's unique perspective in new media. He has spent 4 years creatively crafting with a camera. The Henry Buell Photography Prize goes to Caden Alvarez. The Russell Morris Prize, awarded to an upper school student who has made distinguished contributions to the visual arts at Brooks. A true Renaissance woman, this artist creates in just about every medium. Her work over the past 2 years in AP Studio is a true testament to what it means to be an artist. Russell Morris Prize goes to Sarah Pan. The Parkman Prize in Drama, given in memory to Terry Parkman, to a student who has worked long and hard backstage with no thought of any reward. To know this student is to adore this student. He is thoughtful, curious, helpful, and willing to do the work. This year's Parkman Prize goes to Reed Cagle. The Knowlton Drama Prize, given in memory of Warren Knowlton of the class of 1967 and awarded to a member of the Brooks community who has shown those qualities of loyalty and devotion to drama and versatility and enthusiasm in work before and behind the scenes that were typified by Warren Knowlton. This student is the prize. She is a cup of tea. Our darling Chip, the star of the stage, Giada Musto. The Music Prize, awarded in recognition of dedicated long-term study of an instrument or voice that has resulted in the highest level of musical performance in the graduating class. For this, we have 2 recipients, one for vocal performance. This year's award winner has provided so much joy and energy in her performances, including the impressive lineup at this year's Brookstock, Ainsley Gorton. And for Instrumental Music Prize, this year's recipient is a multifaceted artist, brilliant on the piano, powerful on stage, and deep in the process of songwriting and sound production. His independent project this year with Dr. Brucey, creating an entire album, is beyond beautiful. Tony Key. The Robert Lehman Art Prize for the most accomplished senior artist in the annual student exhibition. We had 35 advanced artists exhibiting this year. The collection of sustained investigations filled our Center for the Arts with so much creative context. This year's Lehman Prize goes to one of Lynn's dedicated students, creating with spirit and with skill, Tegan Toto. Congrats to our award winners. There are so many brilliant things I can say about all of you and how fitting it is on this day, a day like today, that our art speaker is just the cup of tea you were wishing for. Giada literally started her acting career on our stage as exactly that, Chip, a cup of tea in Beauty and the Beast. She is a chop off the old block, a faculty darling. She is a beauty and she is a beast. She commands our attention, she takes us to places we did not know existed, and she does it with joy and passion. I am thrilled to welcome to the stage Giada Musto.
Sorry, people, I'm a little short here. All right, picture this. Freshman me curled up in bed watching TV. Her favorite character just died. Cue end credits. The first name she sees is Blake Neely. Who is Blake Neely? Well, let me tell you. He is the musician who has had the largest impact on my life. Not Taylor Swift, not Lin-Manuel Miranda, Blake Neely. I have never met this man. I couldn't even tell you what he looks like. To be honest, before Googling him for this speech, I wasn't even sure he was a man. But Blake Neely had an indelible influence on my childhood because he was the composer for the music in the superhero shows that aired on CW that I watched as a child. The only reason I even know his name is because it was the first and the end credits at the end of every single episode, and given that I watched over 30 seasons of his work, I saw his name a lot. But his music affected me so much because, as we all know, sound is the backdrop for every TV show and movie. His work shaped the shows, and each show shaped who I am. Because what he created set the emotional backdrop of every scene. With his music, he told me how I was supposed to feel in every moment. Isn't it crazy to think that art can express feelings universally? It's beyond language, beyond facts. To me, it's one of the most impressive things in the world. You see, art forces you to consider other points of view and other lives. The best thing about art is that although there is good and bad, there is no right and wrong. When you make art, there is no right answer. For some, I know that sounds terrifying, and I understand. Subjects like math are comforting with their groundedness, and you do need that solidity sometimes, but you also need the openness that comes with creativity. Art helps you explore emotions, identities, and other abstract concepts that you can't put in a box. During my time at Brooks, the theater program helped me discover who I was through the various characters that I have played. On stage, I have been a teacup, a police officer, a worker, a priest, a doctor, a demon, a vampire slayer, a teenage boy, a reporter, a French teacher, a director, a high schooler, and probably many more that I'm forgetting at the moment. Today, I identify as only one of those things, and by tomorrow, I will identify as none. Still, I found a way to embody each of these roles, admittedly some better than others, because I was able to connect with them. You see, when acting, you have to remember that at the end of the day, we all have something in common, because we are all human. We all have hopes and dreams, tears and fears, things we want, things we love, and things that we hate. Our emotions connect us. So with each new character I played, I got to explore a new person with new feelings and a new life. And that each brought me on a journey that forced me to explore my own life, my own emotions, and my own personality. My sophomore year, I played Orcus in our production of She Kills Monsters, and I connected with one of my favorite parts of myself. On the outside, Orcus and I have nothing in common. I'm 5 foot, maybe. I'm a girl, I'm a teenager, I'm a human. Orcus, on the other hand, is tall, a guy, maybe, and also a demon who is a former overlord of the underworld. So yeah, not too much in common, except for the fact that we are both massive nerds. Both of our favorite activities are watching television and then telling everyone about the television we watched. In the middle of the show, Orcus would just start mentioning TV shows for no reason. He even went on a rant about another character labeling the show Quantum Leap inconsequential. I found this character trait incredibly relatable, as I will quite frequently go on rants about random television shows to pretty much anyone who will listen. Before playing Orcus, I knew this character trait of mine, but I didn't fully embrace it. But while playing Orcus, I realized he's just a part of who I am. We are hardly the same person, but we are still connected in an ineffable way. Last year, the character that had the largest impact on me was Mina from Dracula, A Comedy of Terrors. On the outside, Mina and I seem fairly similar, but on the inside, we are very different. Except I was still drawn toward her. I love Mina with all my heart. She is fun and flirty and very, very awkward, and I love all of that about her. Because I loved playing someone that carefree, who wasn't stressed about everything, who was simply open to living life as it came at her. She knew what she wanted. She was fun and flamboyant. At that point in my life, I needed her positivity and her love of life. She showed me that it was possible for myself. When I remember playing her, I recall being endlessly happy and carefree. As a cautious person, I think back on that time with fondness whenever I get too stressed, because if being that free was possible for her, then it can be possible for me too, even if only for a few fleeting moments. This year, I'm sure you may have seen either Ava or I portray Chris in The Play That Goes Wrong. I had never felt more confident playing a character than I did during this show. Chris and I do have a lot in common because we are both control freaks. I enjoyed breaking down every night because sometimes you just need that simple release. Although to be completely honest, if it were actually me and Chris's situation, I would have started screaming at people a whole lot earlier. But Chris taught me a lot about frustration and control. He reminded me that sometimes life is uncontrollable, but everything is going to be okay. He also taught me that it's okay to break down sometimes. I relate to every moment when something went wrong with his show, because I've felt that way many times, despite the fact that we both come from very different backgrounds in life. If you don't know, in the show, Chris is a 30-something British man who is a director and an actor. I am a freshly 18-year-old girl who has only stepped foot in Britain's airport. Yet, I understand his frustration perfectly. Theater is funny like that, the way it forces you to connect with a person you've never been. I think everyone could benefit from that. To start this year, I portrayed the narrator in Into the Woods. I'm not going to lie, at first I had no clue what to do with this character, until I realized that they are the most literal embodiment of a storyteller, of an artist, and of a writer that I could find. That is when I realized that just like me, this character is simply trying to tell a good story, to keep people entertained, and to teach the audience a lesson. Once I made that connection, playing the narrator felt natural. For me, art has always been about telling stories, and she's the perfect representation of that. I love telling stories through art just like the narrator. Most of you see that come out purely on stage, but it also comes out in other ways. For instance, I love writing. While fiction writing is a class in the English department, for me it will always be an art. You have to paint an image with nothing more than a few squiggly lines on a page. You must appeal to the imagination without any visuals, only the human mind. It's difficult, but I love it because it's so freeing. If it wasn't clear already, my artistic journey at Brooks expands far beyond the seasonal productions you see me in. It's included in the classes I take and other activities I do. I love performing pieces that aren't confined by the rest of the play. So for the last 2 years, I've shown pieces at the cabaret that are meaningful to me. Last year, I performed A Million Dreams from The Greatest Showman because I love how hopeful and joyous the song is. I'm a person with a lot of dreams in life, even if they frequently change, and each lyric speaks to that. This year, I performed One Last Time from Hamilton, and although I am not George Washington choosing to retire, I managed to relate to the song. Because as a senior, the idea of feeling that you have to leave a place better than you found it, but at the same time wishing to simply relax and hope that you did a good enough job, is incredibly relatable. The cabaret truly is one of my favorite performances each year because I get to perform pieces that speak to me and reflect where I was at those points in my life. The final moment that art has touched me was during our last open mic night of the year. At this small event in the upstairs hallway of the Arts Center, students shared songs that they loved, songs that spoke to them, or songs they simply wanted to sing. Well, about halfway through, a fellow senior, Bree, came up to me and asked if I wanted to sing For Good from Wicked. I hadn't listened to the song in a long time, but I agreed. She was Alphaba, I was Glinda, and despite the fact that I barely knew what I was singing until I got to the chorus, it was an emotional performance for me. Because the song is about saying goodbye to someone who changed your life. And standing up there with Bree, who I first truly interacted with while performing in Chicago our freshman year, and who had been in the same advisory as me since we were sophomores, I realized just how many connections I was going to miss. So, through the words of two wise women with magical powers, excellent voices, and a corrupt government to overthrow, not like Bree and I at all, I found a connection. I realized I didn't have the words to sum up my experience at Brooks, but Alphaba and Glinda did when they said, "Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, I have been changed for good." Art is the invisible string that connects us all together. It is the basis of the universe. There is a reason why in The Lord of the Rings, Tolkien had the worlds begin with a song. Art is universal. It cuts across languages and cultures and speaks right to the heart. Art is emotion. It's why it's hard to make, because in order to make it, you actually have to feel, and sometimes you want to run from those emotions. But for me, art has always been about processing things I can't understand. So when you don't know what you are feeling, pick up a pen, a paintbrush, an instrument, or a script, and it will guide you. Thank you.
Thank you, Giada. And now I'm pleased to introduce Andrea Hines, Director of Athletics. Mrs. Hines.
How do you define athletic success? What are you looking for in a coach or a student athlete? These two questions permeated the walls of my office and my mind this year. Whether in conversation with a new coach or a family considering Brooks, these are questions that have been asked repeatedly and ones we mull over daily. It is easy to define success solely by a win-loss record. It's fun to point to a banner, a trophy, or an ISL championship and call it a day. There is no doubt that these are incredible team milestones. For an individual, success might look like a college commitment, scoring a game-winning point, or hitting a personal record. But for Brooks and our athletes, success runs so much deeper than the numbers on the scoreboard at the end of a season. True success is both seen and unseen. Sometimes it is a single team highlight, an individual achievement, or a sudden burst of team chemistry. More often, it is found in the ways an individual or a team overcomes adversity. It is the growth as teammates and the positive "we can do this" culture that is created. Success is earned in the less visible moments, the early morning weight room lifts, the extra workouts, staying after practice for more reps, or playing wall ball. It involves putting in the work in the rowing tanks or the squash courts when no one is looking, shooting hoops during free periods, and refining a move until it becomes second nature. It is found in the training room before practice, athletes taping up and sharing a laugh through the soreness. It is developed on the bus rides, teammates cheering on one another or picking someone up after a challenging play, and in the unscripted moments when the team is together. Performance during a game is just a tiny fraction of the work, the grit, and the resilience that goes into achieving success when playing a sport day after day. This year, the scene moments of success were spectacular. To name just a few of our highlights, our football team closed out the year with a massive home win against Pingree, a personal best under par round by one of our senior golfers, a first place finish by a female wrestler at the Graves Kelsey Wrestling Championship, the first female to win in Brooks's history, 9 senior boys who helped to resurrect our JV baseball team, fighting the injury bug all season, boys varsity basketball stayed together, winning 7 consecutive games midway through the schedule to advance to the NEPSAC playoffs. We featured one of the top lacrosse goalies in the ISL, who led the league in total saves and ranked in the top 3 for both shots faced and saves per game. The softball team launched 22 home runs in a single season, blasted by 7 different players. Girls varsity basketball hosted 2 NEPSAC playoff games for the first time in years. The packed gym roared with excitement as the girls dominated their opponent. The baseball team secured a thrilling extra inning win on a brilliant bunt that scored the runner all the way from second base. Both of our soccer teams fought their way to the NEPSAC playoffs, pushing their limits all the way to penalty kick shootouts. The Thirds boys basketball team enjoyed a phenomenal undefeated season. Girls ice hockey earned a decisive victory over last year's defending NEPSAC champions. The boys squash team, entering nationals as a 15th seed, upended the number 2 seed with a remarkable 4-3 victory when a single player came from behind in a high-pressure moment to secure the match-clinching point. The crew teams brought home 2 trophies and 5 medals across 7 boats at the NIARA Championships. And next year, 28 graduating students will be taking their games to the collegiate level. Yet when we asked our athletes in their end-of-season feedback what was most meaningful about their experience, the themes across every single sport were identical. They didn't write about the wins and losses. Instead, they reminded us that a team is so much more than a roster. It is a community. Many students wrote how their teams transformed into families. Our athletes emphasized the sheer joy of the day-to-day interactions, the bus rides, the team dinners, and the building of unforgettable bonds. Our students value a culture that balances relentless hard work with high energy and fun. They highlighted the encouragement they receive from their coaches and the feeling of being deeply supported, especially when fighting through injuries or trying something completely new. In fact, a huge number of students found their greatest meaning in picking up a sport as a total beginner or returning after a long hiatus. They valued patient coaching and the rewarding feeling of seeing tangible progress, whether tracking a 1-rep max in the weight room or, as one student put it, finding my new favorite sport. So how do I define success? Success is what we have witnessed each and every day, every afternoon this year in our athletic and afternoon programs. It is the joy of watching our players show up every day for their school, for their coaches, for themselves, and most importantly, for each other. It is their ability to overcome disappointment, forge incredible bonds, and leave the field, the ice, the mat, the court, or the water with their heads held high, knowing they gave everything they had. To our seniors, you are graduating not just as individual athletes, but as lifelong teammates. You are the leaders who learned how to show up every day and give your absolute all to something bigger than yourselves. You represented Brooks with immense pride and passion, and you leave the jersey in a better place than you found it. You will carry a piece of this collective strength into your next chapter, and we cannot wait to see all that you will accomplish both on and off the field. So thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2026. And now for our athletic awards. Before presenting the awards, I would like to take a moment to recognize some of our student athletes for their outstanding contributions to Brooks athletics. In this current era of specialization in sports, it is increasingly rare to see an athlete play multiple sports at a high level. However, at Brooks, the success of our program relies on just that, and many of our athletes contribute to multiple teams during their careers. An incredible 70% of our senior class chose to play at least 2 sports this year. The following 6 formers have earned 8 or more varsity letters during their time at Brooks. When your name is called, please stand to be recognized for your impressive contributions. Earning 8 or more varsity letters: Eliza Keekley, Miley Lung, Neve O'Brien, Cameron Shumsky, Julian Way, Tristan Yepto. For playing 11 varsity seasons, Summer Warren. And now I have the opportunity to recognize a truly outstanding achievement: 12 varsity letters, 3 varsity sports for 4 consecutive years. This accomplishment requires exceptional dedication, athleticism, time management, and heart. I am proud to present a plaque to Elsa Wood for her contributions and commitment in field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. Congratulations, Elsa. The Independent School League Award of Excellence recognizes a female athlete and a male athlete at each ISL school for exhibiting the Independent School League ideals of integrity, sportsmanship, fair play, and good citizenship while participating as a multi-sport athlete during their Independent School League career. This year, the honor is shared by 2 remarkable male student athletes and 1 female athlete who have set the standard for what it means to wear the Brooks uniform within the values of the ISL. The first honoree is the very definition of a consummate team player, embodying everything we hope our athletic program represents. Over his 3 years on the football team, he combined immense talent and high production with an unwavering willingness to do whatever it took for the betterment of his team. Described by his coaches as one of the toughest and most coachable players to ever wear a Brooks uniform, his resilience was put to the ultimate test this year. After suffering what looked like a season-ending injury during preseason, he refused to pack it in or shift his focus prematurely to college ball. Instead, he put in the grueling work to return to action without surgery, serving as the absolute backbone of his team. Time and time again, in the biggest moments, he consistently delivered. Whether we needed a clutch basket, a critical rebound, or a relentless effort on the gridiron, he never stopped working to improve. He stuck with his teammates when it would have been easy to walk away, and leaves behind a legacy of selflessness and leadership that will be incredibly difficult to replace. Our next recipient is an athlete who is quite simply one of the finest captains and teammates our coaches have ever had the privilege to lead. As a senior captain and 4-year varsity letter winner in lacrosse, he is a rare 2-time recipient of the prestigious Robert C. Best Award, winning it first as a sophomore and again this senior year. On the soccer pitch, he served as co-captain, acting as the literal pulse and heartbeat of the squad. He was a player who always knew exactly what his team needed, whether it was a lighthearted moment, a grueling fitness session, or a timely goal like his memorable strike against Vermont Academy in the playoff quarterfinals. What truly sets this young man apart is his impeccable character. His discipline and exemplary work ethic speak volumes, ensuring that the team standard from top to bottom never wavered. Having earned both the admiration of his coaches and the utmost respect of his peers for always putting the team first, he leaves Brooks as a masterclass in true leadership. Our next recipient is the ultimate teammate and the absolute embodiment of what it means to be a premier multi-sport athlete. She is an accomplished elite competitor across 3 sports, known just as much for her ferocious athletic drive as she is for her bubbly, outgoing personality off the field. On the ice and on the field, she is a force to be reckoned with, fast, physical, and relentlessly competitive in every single drill and shift. Yet what truly sets her apart is how effortlessly she balances that fierce competitive spirit with genuine humility and a deep generosity of spirit. She is a natural, thoughtful leader who treats every single player on the roster with appreciation, bringing an infectious positivity and kindness to her teams every day. Whether battling an opponent or uplifting a teammate, she always gives 110%, naturally bringing out the best in everyone around her. She leaves behind a legacy of excellence and will sorely be missed at Brooks, but we know she is destined for great things as she takes her incredible talents to Lafayette. Congratulations to our recipients of the ISL Award of Excellence, Riley Clark, Hugh Foster, and Elsa Wood. The Athletic Prize, an annual award to 2 sixth formers who, in the opinion of coaches, have distinguished themselves in sportsmanship and athletic ability, and whose achievements have demonstrated an outstanding record in the athletic life at Brooks. This young woman is a powerhouse multi-sport athlete whose legacy at Brooks is defined by incredible growth, resilience, and an elite competitive drive. As a dominant force on the volleyball court, she was a 4-year starter, a 2-year captain, and an aggressive game changer who inspired everyone around her. On the basketball court, she was an absolute force, dependable, fast, and capable of scoring and rebounding at the highest level. We were also incredibly fortunate when she brought that athleticism to the softball field. Acting as a quiet force in the outfield, she tracked fly balls like no other, robbed opponents of big hits, and proved to be an absolute powerhouse at the plate with 4 home runs this senior season. Yet what stands out most about this athlete is how she quietly went to work every single day, loving the process and translating her immense individual talent into true team success. When faced with a challenging and unpredictable college recruiting process, she refused to let frustration define her. Instead, she put her head down, worked harder, and led by example with a mature, team-first attitude. Whether celebrating an open teammate on a fast break or outworking everyone in the gym, she proved herself to be the ultimate selfless teammate who always raises the level of play around her. We are so proud of the athlete and person she has become, and we cannot wait to watch her bring her fierce heart and dedication to Smith College next season. For the Boys Athletic Prize, we celebrate an athlete whose impact on Brooks athletics will be felt for generations. Whether shattering records on the gridiron or serving as the ultimate glue guy on the basketball court, this individual embodies what it means to be a true leader. As a 4-year impactful player, 2-year captain, and the leading tackler in football program history, his sheer production on offense, defense, and special teams is virtually irreplaceable. Yet it is his quiet humility and the off-the-charts leadership that define him most. A relentless competitor who constantly did the little things that don't show up in a box score. He always knew exactly when to make a statement, delivering a memorable two-handed fast break dunk against Roxbury Latin to secure the basketball team's 15th consecutive NEPSAC playoff berth. Exceptional on the field, invaluable on the court, and deeply respected across campus, he leaves a legacy of excellence that will be missed the most. We are excited to see his excellence continue on the gridiron at Lehigh University. Please join me in recognizing the recipients of the Girls and Boys Athletic Prize, Summer Warren and Tristan Yepto. The Carrie Ann Cater Prize is awarded annually by the faculty to that female member of the graduating class who, by her warmth and generosity of spirit toward others, by her outstanding contributions to Brooks athletics, by her presence alone, has added that precious quality of kindness for which we remember Carrie Ann Cater. This year's recipient embodies the spirit across 4 sports she played during her time at Brooks. As the first female member of the varsity golf team, she instantly became everyone's favorite teammate, balancing the course with a demanding soccer schedule. Her integrity shines bright. When faced with a difficult rules scenario involving an opposing player, she remained entirely calm and professional, earning the absolute respect of her peers and the senior captaincy. As a 2-year captain for Brooks girls soccer, she led with extraordinary heart and grit, pushing past exhaustion because of how deeply she cared for the people beside her. Beyond her fierce competitiveness, she served as a vital bridge between players and coaches, fostering a lasting culture of resilience and belief. By her presence alone, she has elevated both programs and left behind incredibly big shoes to fill. We are so proud of the athlete and the exceptional person you are, and look forward to watching you play as a Middlebury Panther next year. The recipient of the Carrie Ann Cater Prize is Neve O'Brien. The Frank D. Ashburn Athletic Award, given by Mr. and Mrs. Arnold Cogswell to honor an outstanding individual or team performance in which intangible extra qualities have added a special flavor to the school. To receive our highest athletic honor requires more than just elite talent. It requires a rare combination of competitive dominance, profound humility, and an unbreakable spirit. This year's recipient is a game changer who leaves coaches in absolute awe, not just because she dictates the pace of every game she plays, but because she does it with a completely selfless, team-driven attitude. As a premier multi-sport athlete, she was the defining heartbeat of Brooks girls soccer, a ferocious, intelligent defender so dominant that opposing teams literally had to game plan around her. Yet her impact extended far beyond the pitch. When she stepped onto the basketball court, she became an instant spark plug, shifting momentum through sheer hustle, relentless pace, and a stoic refusal to give less than 100%. Over her 4 years, she overcame immense adversity, yet she always responded by locking in, leading with a quiet confidence, and doing whatever her coaches or teammates needed without a single complaint. She is the type of rare competitor who impacts the game in ways that transcend the box score, setting the ultimate standard for lived-out leadership through every sprint, every 50-50 ball, and every sacrifice she makes. She is, through and through, a winner who elevates everyone around her simply by being in the room. The tough Jumbos are fortunate to have her on their side next fall, It is our distinct privilege to present the Frank D. Ashburn Athletic Prize to Miley Lung. And now I am delighted to welcome our student speaker back to the stage. You've heard a bit about her already today. A final remark from one of her field hockey coaches. She works harder than any athlete I've ever encountered. Leaving it all out there is a core part of this athlete's approach to competition. We have no doubt that she will continue to leave it all out there on the collegiate field hockey field and in all of her endeavors. Please welcome Elsa Wood.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. Over my 4 years here at Brooks, I think I can finally say I've learned what it truly means to be an athlete. It's not about the wins or the losses, the stats or the scoreboard. It's about being part of something bigger than yourself, representing the name on the front of your jersey, not the one on the back. Brooks has taught me not only the importance of being part of a team, but also how meaningful the relationships you build along the way can be. For a little context, I have always been very hard on myself. Growing up in a family surrounded by athletes, I have never allowed myself to be anything less than perfect. There was always invisible weight being carried on my shoulders of expectations that I had to meet and people I had to impress. Even today, I rarely allow myself to rest out of fear of letting people down, and I always feel as if I can do better, play better, be better. At the same time, I've always been incredibly competitive. In a lot of ways, I feel that those two parts of me go hand in hand. The pressure of having to constantly be perfect and make no mistakes, combined with the need to just compete and get better every day, is what fuels me to be the athlete I am. Just ask my friends. I have never just played a game of pickleball. What started off as a simple game between my friends and I has now turned into a 7-0 winning streak with my partner Eliza. It comes from those two parts of me, my competitiveness, which pushes me to win no matter what, and my perfectionism, which forces me to be the best I can be every single time I am playing. But don't get me wrong, Eliza's an incredible player, and I think our wins mostly have to be credited to her. And for anyone wondering, we are hoping to make it an 8-0 streak to whoever tries to face us next. Anyway, from a young age, I have always held myself to very high standards. When I first walked onto the turf here at Brooks, I knew coming in that I had to do whatever it took to make varsity field hockey. There were no excuses. That same drive then followed me to hockey tryouts and then finally lacrosse tryouts in the spring. I put so much pressure on myself that, in my mind, anything less felt like failure. Luckily, I did end up making all three, and it's the people I met who changed my character as an athlete forever. I was on those teams where I met a senior. From the first moment I met her, she had been someone I looked up to. She was everything I envisioned for myself over the next 4 years. A 12-season varsity athlete, a 3-sport captain, and on her way to play a Division I sport. I'm sure you can only guess, from that moment on, I had made it my mission to follow that exact same path. At times, I became so caught up in trying to be perfect for everyone around me that I started to lose sight of what truly mattered. I focused so much on trying to meet impossibly high expectations, proving myself, and constantly pushing for more that I forgot why I loved playing in the first place. Somewhere, in all of that pressure, I lost sight of the bigger picture. Looking back now, I realize my experience at Brooks taught me something much more important than how to compete or succeed. It taught me what it means to be part of a team, to trust the people around you, to lean on them when things are hard, and to understand that some of the most meaningful moments come from the people right beside you. I've had a pretty unusual experience here at Brooks. Alone, I have had more than 8 different coaches in the past 4 years, which, if you ask me, is a pretty ludicrous stat. It's because of my teammates, though, that I learned to make the best of any given situation. Because of them, the constant uncertainty of coaching slowly lost its effect over me. I knew no matter what, I would be in good hands with the girls beside me. We relied on each other, and that's what gave us the will to compete and to go on. When thinking back, the games you usually remember aren't the time you made a good play or scored that goal. For me, it's the hard-fought overtime win against BB&N in field hockey, or in St. Mark's in lacrosse, where then the entire team ran out onto the field in a huddle, all beaming with happiness and pride in one another. It was that feeling of belonging to something bigger than me, that feeling of doing it for someone other than myself, that pinpoints those certain memories. Without the unwavering support and the comfort of knowing that I had always had people I could count on, I would have never made it this far. The teammates I have had over the years have taught me that it's okay to not be perfect. They've helped me realize that I can take down some of those expectations I set on myself. They have helped me see that I don't need to be so hard on myself after every game, and that I don't need to apologize for feeling as though the outcome were my fault. It's these teammates that have shown me I have people in my corner no matter what, and even if I just need a shoulder to cry on, they will always be there for me. During field hockey, I knew that I always had Finley to turn to. No matter what kind of day I was having, I knew she would find a way to make me smile. Whether it was a laugh, in which we usually always were, or a distraction from our conditioning to talk about our days, even though talking definitely made the running worse, or a shoulder to cry on when the stress became too much to manage, she was there for me every single time. I don't think she truly realizes the impact she had on me these past 2 years, and I hope next year I hope to find someone half the person that she is. During hockey season, from being 2 of 6 freshmen to then being the only 2 seniors left, Michelle was that person for me. We have grown tremendously from the 2 girls we were when we first arrived here, and for me, that growth is credited to Michelle. Michelle helped me realize that I don't always have to be perfect. Mistakes are going to happen. It's how you move on from them that shapes you. She helped me find my love again, and she taught me how important it is to just show up and play for myself, truly and only myself. I really don't know what I'm going to do next year when I can't have her by my side. From the first time I met her, she has always been one of my biggest supporters and my rock. Hockey was the best thing that ever happened to me because I gained one of my best friends. I gained Michelle. And finally, lacrosse gave me Fabo. Fabo taught me what it truly means to be a leader while also doing so with grace and poise. She inspired me to be my best self and to have confidence in myself no matter what. Even in being brought down by an injury, she never lets it get the best of her. She still continues to push through and go about it all with a smile on her face. She is the most selfless person I've ever met and puts all of her teammates' needs above her own. I know I've told you a million times, Fabo, but I am so inspired by the person you are, and I hope someday to be half the leader and teammate that you are. It's the teammates like them, along with so many others, who have shaped me into the athlete and person I am today. They taught me that being an athlete isn't about being perfect or meeting those impossible standards that you set for yourself. It's about showing up for one another and that feeling of playing for something bigger than yourself. It's about trusting the people around you and letting them in. And sometimes, if you're lucky like I was, your teammates become so much more than teammates. They become your best friends. So, to all of my teammates out there and over the years, thank you all for helping me become who I am today. It is with your unwavering support and faith in me that I am able to stand here in front of you all today. I love you all so much, and I hope you now all realize just how much I truly look up to all of you. So, thank you, Brooks, for giving me these incredible experiences and amazing people.
Thank you, Elsa. And now I'm pleased to turn things over to Curry Hoya Huntington, Dean of Academic Affairs. Mr. Huntington.
Good afternoon. Class of 2026, you did not end up here by accident. You have arrived at this point in your life because you and the people who care about you made a series of choices. You probably had a variety of successes and your fair share of challenges. There were parts of school that you loved and parts of school that you tolerated, maybe barely. The years you have spent at Brooks presented varying degrees of difficulty. And as we kick off this weekend of celebrating all you have accomplished, you have much to be proud of. In September, I talked in chapel about why you engage in the work you do. What motivates you to get up in the morning and keep coming back to the work? One of our core values is engagement, and engagement is hard work. Engaging with integrity, another of our core values, is harder still. In the time you have spent at 1160 Great Pond Road, you have succeeded in large part, I would argue, because of your passion. Passion is the engine that drives the other core values. Passion ignites your creativity, fuels your empathy, and makes your engagement possible. Passion helps you recognize the importance of integrity. You are likely at your most confident when you are at your most passionate. The donning of the stoles ceremony this morning was a reminder of how many of you have so many different passions. Passion makes the great discoveries of the world happen. Without passion, no astronaut lands on the moon, we don't decode the human genome, nobody invents the smartphone. Passion means that reporters traverse the globe exposing human rights violations, that poets write every day to find the perfect words to reveal deep truths, and that historians work late nights in far-flung libraries, poring over documents to help us learn lessons from the past. Passion means that we get Beethoven's Ninth Symphony and Monet's Water Lilies. Passion brings us Julie Carrick-Dalton's The Last Beekeeper, Marjan Kamali's The Lion Women of Tehran, and Roberto Lugo's Stories on Ceramics. Without passion, Endicott Peabody would not have founded Brooks School 99 years ago. He cared so much about the education of young people that he inspired a group of benefactors and leaders to devote the time and energy to creating this place. Richard Russell was so passionate that he was willing to donate this incredible piece of land to ensure that generations of Brooksians would have a spectacular location to live and learn. Frank D. Ashburn was so passionate about making Brooks School work that he served as the first headmaster and spent 46 years on this campus. And passion today means that an incredible group of Brooks students continues to learn from an astonishing Brooks faculty supported by a dedicated Brooks staff. You have arrived at this point in your life because you and the people who care about you made a series of choices. Many of those choices helped fuel your existing passions or discover new ones. Without careful tending, fires go out, and so too can a passion dissipate when not given thought and attention. As you move on from Brooks, think about how you will create sparks along the way. In a letter written to his biographer near the end of his life, Albert Einstein explained his genius humbly. "I have no special talents," he said. "I am only passionately curious." How can you maintain a passionate curiosity about everything you do? Take what you have learned here and carry it with you. As is true every year, you could each receive a prize for all you have done academically. And now, to celebrate some specific exceptional contributions to the academic life of the school, from the class of 2026 and from younger students, we turn to the awarding of academic prizes. First is the Publications Prize. Awarded to a student whose diligence, devotion, and skill have contributed significantly to the successful production of a Brooks publication. This year's Publications Prize goes to Caden Almaraz. The Wilder Speaking Prize, given by John G. and H. Todd Kobe Jr., and determined by vote of the Brooks community, is awarded to Jackson Moltz Robbins. The Edmund Samuel Carr Prize in Latin is awarded to Abigail Nam. The Edmund Samuel Carr Prize in Beginning Latin, it's a family affair, is awarded to Madison Nam. The Spanish prize is awarded to two recipients, and I'll read their names together: Namia Bondi and Sofia Codriano. The René Champignon French Prize is also awarded to two recipients, Eloise Bertrand and Abigail Nam. The Charles C. Cottingham Class of 2008 Chinese Prize is awarded to Tony Jiajun Ki. The A.G. Davis Phillip Prize, given by the Science Department to an individual who has demonstrated an interest in and who shows considerable promise in the sciences, is awarded to James Skoranek. The John J. Cabral Prize, given to the Brooks student who has shown a high degree of interest in physics and for depth of involvement in the subject, is awarded to Emma Nagel. The Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute Medal for Excellence in Mathematics and Science is awarded to Shujin Suki Liu. The John B. Melvin Computer Science Prize is awarded to Zijung Shan Wei. The Nicholas J. Evangelos Science Prize is awarded to Rohan Amin. The Mathematics Prize is awarded to Emma Nagel. The Howell Van Gerbig Jr. Prize, given for the best essay on the development of political institutions for her paper titled Compromise That Catalyzed Collapse: How the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 Drove the Nation Toward the Civil War, is awarded to Julia Glick. The Richard K. Irons Prize, given for the best essay on a pressing problem in American history or international relations, for her paper titled Violated Vaginas, Scalpel and Speculum: The Commodification of Black Women in American Gynecology, is awarded to Eseose Olobosele. The Michael W. McHale Prize in History, awarded to a sixth form student who has demonstrated a love for the discipline by taking a wide and rigorous program in history, a mastery of analytical thinking and writing, an enthusiasm for the craft of historical research, a delight in the exploration and exchange of ideas, and an empathy for the human condition, goes to Eleanor Sachs Salhanek. The E. Graham Ward English Prize is awarded to a student who has demonstrated a love of literature in all its forms. This student is a talented reader and writer, gifted with the ability to respond to literature both analytically and creatively. Giada Musto. The Harvard Club of the Merrimack Valley Prize, awarded to a fifth former nominated by the faculty for high academic achievement, leadership, and active participation in school affairs, goes to Emma Pilar Bell. The Columbia University Club of New England Prize, awarded to a fifth former who has demonstrated an ability to combine academic achievement, personal character, extracurricular contribution to the school, and accomplishment in and dedication to a field of interest meriting personal recognition, goes to Manuela Carissa. The Oscar M. Root Prize, given by Morgan H. Harris, Jr., is awarded to a member of the Brooks community who, during the year, has exemplified certain characteristics with which Oscar M. Root for many years enriched life at Brooks. These characteristics include excellence in the sciences, devotion to nature study, and a sense of humor, which provided a rare overview of life. The Root Prize goes to Jill Hamilton. The Sixth Form Ranking Scholar Award is presented to the sixth form student who has earned the highest academic average during the 2 semesters of their sixth form year. The 25-26 Sixth Form Ranking Scholar is Namia Bondi. The Jolene and Stephen C. Eyre Prize for Scholarly Achievement is awarded each year to the student in the sixth form who has earned the highest cumulative overall academic average during their time at Brooks. The Eyre Prize for the class of 2026 and the final academic prize for the day is awarded to Emma Nagel. Take your passions, class of 2026, and use them to make the people around you better. This is what will make the most meaning of your time at Brooks. As you go forward, remember the privilege of being here in this place, learning from and with each other. Your accomplishments are so impressive, and I cannot wait to see what you will do with all you have learned to make this world a better place for everyone. To give the student address on academics and reflect on 4 years of remarkable academic achievement in every regard, please welcome Rohan Amin.
Good afternoon, everyone. A few days ago, a friend told me that their parents thought I was the perfect student. I don't know exactly why. Was it my grades, the classes I took? Was it simply the version of my Brooks experience they saw from the outside? I don't remember why they thought that way, but I do remember being surprised. When I look back on my academic journey at Brooks, perfection is probably the last word I would use. Like many people sitting here today, I can think of plenty of things I would have done differently. There are classes I wish I had taken sooner, opportunities I wish I had explored more, and times when I was probably too focused on one thing while overlooking another. The funny thing is that when I started talking to my friends about this, I realized they felt exactly the same way. Interestingly, the regrets often look nothing like mine. The people who appeared to have everything figured out academically wish they had spent more time doing other things. The people who were constantly involved in activities, clubs, and friendships sometimes wished they had challenged themselves more in the classroom. And that's when I realized something. At Brooks, almost everyone is comparing their actual experience to an imaginary version of themselves. The more I thought about it, the more I realized that Brooks almost guarantees this feeling, because Brooks offers more opportunities than any one person could ever take full advantage of. Winter term might be the best example. This year, I went to Bonaire with the scuba group. If you've been around Brooks long enough, you know that scuba is one of the most sought-after winter terms. It's also typically primarily seniors. So when a sophomore showed up to the information session, I remember everyone laughing a little. He was planning further ahead than the rest of us. What struck me was the sheer variety of completely different opportunities happening all at once. While I was learning underwater navigation, other students were sailing in the Florida Keys. Others were learning to snowboard in New Hampshire. Some were traveling through Ireland or Italy. Others stayed on campus developing video games, learning how to make tea, or spending their days walking Boston. And that's what Brooks does so well. It constantly puts experiences in front of us that we never would have chosen for ourselves. Think about your own academic experience here. Brooks never had a shortage of options. The hard part was picking one. Every winter term means not doing another winter term. Every class means not taking a different class. Every commitment means passing up something else. Choosing one path requires not choosing another. And I think that's where many of our regrets come from possibility, from speculating about what might have been. Maybe you stood outside of Mr. Moshe's classroom waiting for him to throw a piece of sodium into a bucket of water, knowing that a few seconds later an explosion would echo across campus and make someone in Peabody wonder what had just happened. Maybe you spent weeks in anatomy with Miss Sacco, carefully dissecting a rabbit, or if you were especially unlucky, a cat, trying to understand how a mammalian body actually works. Maybe you stayed up late writing poem after poem for Mr. Charpentier, hoping one might be good enough to make it into still waters. Maybe your favorite academic experience happened during winter term. Maybe it happened during Students on the Forefront. Maybe it happened during a class you almost didn't sign up for. In every situation, your favorite academic experience happened when you could have been doing something else. It probably happened while someone else was having a completely different favorite academic experience. The remarkable thing is that these experiences have almost nothing in common. Over 4 years, we are constantly invited into worlds we never would have discovered on our own. And that's one of the things I appreciate most about academics at Brooks. And education is not simply the process of getting better at the things you already like. It's also the process of discovering things you never expected to care about. At the same time, that abundance creates a problem. You can't do all of it. You can't take every class. You can't participate in every winter term. You can't join every club. You can't pursue every interest. You can't become every version of yourself. Every meaningful choice comes at the expense of another possibility. And I think that's where a lot of our regrets come from. Not from failure, from possibility. We spend 4 years surrounded by possibilities. So naturally, when we look back, we notice the roads we didn't take. The class we never enrolled in, the activity we never joined, the interest we discovered too late. But that feeling isn't evidence enough that we did something wrong. It's evidence that we were fortunate enough to have choices worth making. What matters more is what we did show up for. The moments when a conversation about how mitochondria convert glucose into usable energy follows us outside of Mrs. H's classroom. When we find ourselves at dinner still unsettled by Mr. Latham's case studies on the rat-infested meatpacking industry. And maybe quietly reconsidering what's on our plate. When Tote challenges our assumption that raising the minimum wage is always good for workers. Those moments look different for everyone, and they all share something in common. They make us feel connected to what we're learning. And that connection is what gives academics meaning. Looking back, I still wish I had done some things differently. And I don't think I'm alone in that. Class of 2026, I'd guess you'd have your own list too. But I no longer think that's a sign our experiences were incomplete. 4 years at Brooks is not enough to become every version of yourself. There will always be another class you wish you had taken, another experience you wish you had explored, another path you wonder about. And that's okay. In fact, it's the whole point. The goal was never to create the perfect Brooks experience. The goal was to engage deeply with the experience that was actually ours. To take advantage of the opportunities that matter to us, to learn from the people around us, to be challenged, to be curious, and to leave this place having become someone slightly different from the person who arrived. If there is one thing Brooks has taught me, it is that meaning is not found in doing everything. Meaning is found in caring deeply about what you choose to do. And in a place filled with as many possibilities as Brooks, that may be the most valuable lesson of all. Class of 2026, thank you for being a part of this journey with me.
Thank you, Rohan. And now for some school prizes. The Malcolm G. Chase III Prize, awarded to a third, fourth, and fifth former who, in the judgment of the head of school, has made the most personal progress during the year. The Malcolm G. Chase III Prize in the third form goes to Evelett Quintana. The Malcolm G. Chase III Prize in the fourth form goes to Finn Robert Gower. The Malcolm G. Chase III Prize in the fifth form goes to Danilo Jose Gomez, Jr. The St. Lawrence University Book Award. In recognition of the value that St. Lawrence places on environmental activism, we would like to honor the achievements of a junior at your school who has demonstrated a significant commitment to some aspect of sustainability, conservation, climate change, or a topic related to environmental awareness and/or advocacy. This year's recipient is Alder Else Hurley. The Leonard S. Perkins Prize, awarded by the faculty to that member of the fifth form who makes an outstanding contribution to the life of the school. This year's recipient is Angela Isabel Fabo. The George B. Blake Prize. The George B. Blake Prize, awarded in recognition of extended voluntary and generous service to others. In my estimation, this young woman embodies all we hope to recognize with this prize and much more. A colleague noted, her presence is energetic and her humble nature is magnetic. I would challenge anyone to recall a moment when they encountered her in anything less than an upbeat frame of mind. She is selfless and fun and constantly seeking ways to contribute to the greater good. Her teachers describe her as a joy to work with and an excellent leader and friend to all. She has excelled in the classroom. She has been an outstanding school prefect. Her generous spirit has reached communities well beyond this campus. She will be such a gift to communities yet to know her as we do, and we are so proud of what she is and will surely still be. I'm honored to present this year's George B. Blake Prize to Abigail Tayen Nam. The Harvey P. Hood Prize. The Harvey P. Hood Prize awarded in recognition of special interests, such as working with young children, making things with one's hands, and in memory of a lively, gentle view of life. There have been times during her years here when I have wondered how she does it. She has a long commute. She takes challenging courses. She's an extraordinary and prolific artist. She's an important part of 3 varsity teams. She has scores of friends who treasure her friendship, and her school has benefited tremendously from her extraordinary engagement, selflessness, and terrific sense of humor. Her Brooks School years have been characterized by pouring herself into the school's life. Her teammates would make plain how important she has been to every team she's been a part of. Her teachers would point to her exuberant energy and impressive work ethic as constants. It is not an exaggeration to suggest she has improved every experience she has been a part of at Brooks. Quite a feat. I'm so pleased to present this year's Harvey P. Hood Prize to Elizabeth Alice Keekley. The Kilbourne Bowl. The Kilbourne Bowl was given by Mr. and Mrs. John W. Kilbourne for the greatest all-around improvement. When I think about this young man's improvement over the course of his 4 years here, I do not think about his character. In this regard, he's been fully intact from day one. He was then and is now a person of deep character and conviction, wise well beyond his years. His improvement has come over time and at an impressive pace. He has become an exceptional student and contributed across disciplines in ways that astounded teachers and revealed a depth and perspective that improved every classroom he was in. He's been an excellent leader on the football team, with the BSU, and in the many less visible areas of school life where character rises to the top. With great pride and confidence in who he is now and where his life is headed from here, I'm honored to present the Kilbourne Bowl to Kimani Isaiah Bab. The Dunnell Prize. The Dunnell Prize given by the faculty in honor of Jacob Dunnell and William W. Dunnell III, who jointly gave 57 years of dedicated service to their students and the school, is awarded to a sixth former who has worked without fanfare to better the school. Where to start with the many ways this young man has earned so many accolades and admirers? 12 advanced placement courses, national merit finalist, multiple best student ever mentions from teachers spanning the disciplines, an exceptional school prefect, a key cog on our crew team, an impressive performance in our internship program, and an unassuming manner the Dunnell brothers would have surely admired. One colleague wrote, "His ability to grasp, apply, and explain complexity is extraordinary." Another remarked, "All of us who have taught you are awed by your intellect and your humility." This final point lingers for me. All of this achievement, and one would never know were it not for openings like this one, to recognize the kind of scholar, leader, and essential member of this community he has been. We've been so fortunate to have him. I'm honored to present the Dunhill Prize to Rohan Nilesh Amin. The William R. Ferris Jr. Prize. The William R. Ferris Jr. Prize, given by Howell Van Gerbig in honor of William Ferris, class of 1960, is awarded to a sixth form student who stands out among their peers for the depth and range of their intellectual curiosity, energy, and creativity. A nominee for this prize is presented to the faculty by the 6 faculty members who hold endowed chairs. It is the depth and range phrase in this citation that best captures the remarkable and varied ways this young woman has impacted our school. She has been an extraordinary student and writer, with more than one top student in the class designation earned from her teachers. She has been a fixture on and around the stage with too many amazing performances and contributions to school productions to count. Her insatiable appetite for learning has not been limited to the classroom, as her participation in the school's exchange and internship programs attest. She's been a model UN stalwart. She even wrote a novel. And I don't think she ever missed a Saturday night open house in our home. By any measure, her curiosity, energy, and creativity have enriched the school. What a gift she's been. I'm so pleased to present the William R. Ferris Jr. Prize to Giada Renee Musto. The Headmaster Emeritus Prize, to be awarded by the faculty for any reason it considers appropriate. As we've learned this afternoon, this young woman's academic prowess defies description. Here's a data point for your consideration. Let 10 advanced placement exam scores of 5 settle in for a while. She has stretched our curriculum to and through its ceiling in math and science in ways that astound us. She's also so much more than a math and science star. One colleague commented that she is an incredible writer, with another teacher indicating he will use her essays as models with future students. She's a two-sport varsity athlete, plays the piano beautifully, excelled as a participant in our internship program, and was a star in her winter term course this year, Car Wars. How's all of that for any reason we consider appropriate? With deep admiration for all she's been and achieved, I'm honored to present the Headmaster Emeritus Prize to Emma Lee Nagel. The Alan Ashburn Prize. The Alan Ashburn Prize, given by the late James D. Regan and awarded each year by the faculty for any purpose it deems suitable. The good feeling about this young man and everything he has poured himself into during these 4 years runs far and wide. He is impressively accomplished and has earned the admiration of teachers for his intellect, his work ethic, and the way in which he goes about his life on campus. One teacher referred to him as the ideal student for his curiosity, hard work, and respectful nature. Another colleague lauded his humility, kindness, and integrity. While he is certainly the budding computer science wizard a colleague described him to be, he is also a rower, a runner, a peer tutor, and a writer. Indeed, he has been so much at Brooks, and it all adds up to what exemplary citizenship looks like. We are proud of all he has been and is certain to be throughout his life. It is my honor to present the Alan Ashburn Prize to Caden Robert Alvarez. The Russell Prize, given by the late Richard S. Russell and awarded by the faculty for an outstanding single contribution to the life of the community. This young woman personifies servant leadership at its best. In an understated way, she earned the respect and admiration of peers over the course of her 4 years by showing up, working hard, and appreciating that leadership is about service and not self. She opts in at every turn. In an effort to capture her impact on the school, a colleague pointed to her steadfast, positive presence in our community. As our student government president and a member of our honor board, she led with integrity and impressive ability to work with students and adults alike. She's been an outstanding student and an exceptional leader, a true upstander. Her single contribution has been her unwavering devotion to doing her part as a leader and citizen 4 years running. With a deep appreciation for all she's given to Brooks, I'm honored to present the Russell Prize to Grania and Rolfe. The Thomas Perkins Brooks Jr. Prize. She's okay. The Thomas Perkins Brooks Jr. Prize is given in memory of Ensign Brooks, who was lost in the Battle of Leyte Gulf, and is awarded annually by the faculty to a member of the sixth form who during their career at Brooks has met certain requirements of development, leadership, and responsibility. Throughout his journey over these 4 years, the strength of this young man's character has been a constant, and his growth as a leader has been an inspiration. He embodies what this prize aims to recognize. I think leadership found him by virtue of how he has gone about his life here, with integrity, with kindness, with care for others that is easy to feel. He has been an outstanding school prefect. To a person, his teachers comment on his presence and participation, his curiosity and willingness to explore far-reaching ideas, a philosopher in the making, perhaps. He's headed to a next stop, certain to be better with him in the mix. And as he goes, we want him to know he did far more than his part here, and we were all better for it. I'm honored to present the Thomas Perkins Brooks Jr. Prize to Jasper Scott Willard Johnson. We hosted our alumni weekend a few weeks ago, and I had an opportunity to share some thoughts on the state of the school with a group that gathered in Ashburn Chapel. At one point in my remarks, when talking about our students, I suggested that the likely answer any of these alums would get if they asked a student on Main Street what they loved most about Brooks would be the word community, with different notions of what that word means in their minds. They might mean the whole community. They might mean a community within the larger school community. They would certainly mean something that is bigger than they are, something that matters to them, something that they contribute to and draw from, something that helps them feel like they belong to the school and the school belongs to them. In this afternoon's ceremony, we have celebrated students with such an impressive array of talents that span the arts and athletics and academic achievements we are so incredibly proud of. We've also celebrated community builders and leaders who have played vital and selfless roles in lifting the experience of others. They did this by serving in leadership roles across all aspects of school life, in our dormitories, when we gathered for chapel on Mondays and Thursdays, when welcoming prospective students and families to visit campus for the first time, and in gathering clubs and affinity groups to engage in shared passions and lived experiences. They did this as tutors and as peer advisors, supporting and assisting students needing some extra help. They did this as team captains by setting and maintaining a standard for the teams they led. And importantly, they did this without any title at all, over and over again, in ways that made life here fun and full for others. No one was required to bring a karaoke machine to a head of school open house, for instance. This group did. In one way or another, all of us on the faculty have opportunities to work with these talented and passionate students in some of the many settings they reach. In my case, more often than not, I had some time to connect with school prefects each week about their lives, about the school's life, about what was going well, about what was hard. In all of these cases, this group was deeply engaged in school life. They worked well together. They knew how to have fun. They confronted challenges head on in ways that made a difference. They cared about each other and the many spheres of students. Each of them reached beyond the group. In this group, there was someone every student in our school could admire and emulate, could connect to in their own way. We had our final meeting of the year in the greatest of all eating establishments, the International House of Pancakes, or IHOP as they know it. We talked for a bit about summer jobs and where they might be in 5 years, or at some future reunion down the line. Who can know, of course, but I'm quite certain that when they do return to their school to say hello or attend a reunion, or just recall a place that matters to them, countless communities in addition to this one will be better for having met and known them. They are a terrific group, and I wish them the very best of all the good things. As they head for an exciting next step in their lives, I ask all of you to join me in thanking this year's school prefects as I call their names and invite them to the stage. They are Rohan Nilesh Amin, Herons Kantave, Hugh Kindersley Foster III, Sloan Dana Hayden, Jasper Scott Willard Johnson, Abigail Tayen Nam, Eseose Maureen Olobasela, Grania Ann Rolfe, Callista Lumeta Tangney, Elsa Alden Wood. And this year's senior prefect, Tristan Barry Quagger Yepto. I'm not sure there is anything that has a more profound impact on how a school year feels than the ways in which the sixth form engages in all aspects of the school's life. This will be the challenge awaiting the class of 2027 when they return in the fall and find themselves in possession of the lion's share of leadership positions we have at Brooks. We are always fortunate this time of year to have so many enthusiastic soon-to-be sixth formers eager to step forward and play a part in leading their school. This group will have that distinction doing so during our school's 100th year, and they're poised to make the most of it. As summer beckons and this class of 2027 heads for a well-deserved break before returning for their final year at Brooks, they would do well to give some thought to how they want to begin with the leadership positions they now have. To this point, they have earned the privilege of having the opportunity to make a difference in a dormitory or on a team or in clubs or affinity groups or in Ashburn Chapel or with peers when no one else is watching. The title guarantees nothing. The ways this group chooses to fully engage and leverage the opportunity they have with the good of the school in mind will ultimately tell their story. How often do they show up for others when they aren't required to do so? How frequently do they go beyond the minimum in ways that lift the experience for all of us? Leadership is a blend of privilege and opportunity and responsibility. I'm confident this class of 2027 is equal to the task ahead. I will have the privilege of thinking with the 2026-2027 school prefects over the course of the year, and am very much looking forward to it. With a blank canvas to work with, this group is ready to lean in, do their part, and be the team of leaders the school will need them to be. And now, without further ado, I'd like to announce the 2026-2027 school prefects and invite them to join us on stage when I call their names. They are Daniel Casamajor Jr., Finley Elizabeth Cronin, Danilo Jose Gomez Jr., Noah Allen Humphrey, Kevin Shalom Kahu, Manuela Malaika Cariza, Tyler Richard Principe, Paul Junhyun Ri, Charlie Michelle Roberto. George Eric Walford. And next year's senior prefect, Angela Isabel Fabo. Thank you. Here's what's next. Once I wrap up, all of us on campus will make our way, if you noticed, it's not raining anymore, directly to Ashburn Chapel for our Boohoo Chapel service beginning as soon as we get there. The service is for the student body and will involve a series of farewell songs and traditions ahead of the class of 2026 processing out of the chapel behind a bagpiper who will lead the way. This part of the afternoon will not be live streamed, but we will have a photographer capturing the event and making those photos available to all who are interested. Parents, guardians, family members, and friends are also welcome to take pictures. Once the class of 2026 has lined the chapel walk, the faculty, followed by the 3rd, 4th, and 5th form, will process through the line to say their goodbyes. From there, the class of 2026 will make their way through the line saying goodbye to one another. This is usually a lengthy and emotional experience, and lots of terrific opportunities for pictures will emerge if you're patient. So this brings the lawn ceremony live stream to a close. Many thanks to those of you who have joined us from home. For the rest of us, let's head to the chapel. Thank you. Okay. Come over here.